Hello, 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 my friends. Yesenia here behind the camera. Before I start today, I am going to be making a really delicious bread pudding that a person that I admire and follow on social media, and I hope I can meet her one day, taught me via like videos and stuff and watching her channel. Her name is Michelle from Tropical Cake Pops or Tropical Pop Cakes. I'll put the link when I upload the video for her pages. She made this amazing bread pudding and I'm gonna recreate it today. So this is not an original recipe of mine, but I made a change. She uses water for the raisins. I used rum, just white regular Bacardi rum. But let me start. I told you already that I'm gonna make a bread pudding, so I'm gonna have the bread, of course. The bread that I had available at home doesn't have the crust already, but if you have bread with the crust, you can leave the crust and use the crust, of course. I'm gonna use 10 slices of bread. And contrary to popular belief, the bread doesn't have to be old or stale to make the bread pudding. So I'm going to use 10 slices of bread. If you have the other bread, that like how I call it, the bakery bread or pan de bollo, it's a half of a pound of bakery bread. Then I'm going to have 3 eggs. I'm going to have 1 can of condensed milk here. 1.5 cans of evaporated milk here. Then I use 3 small boxes of raisins like this, and I've been soaking them in rum, a cup of rum, since 3 o'clock today. So it's been like 2 hours since they have been there, because you know raisins are very dried and dehydrated, so you need to put the liquid. It doesn't have to be rum, guys, but I chose to make it with rum. It can be water. You just need to rehydrate your raisins. And then this infusion here, this is something different that she makes, and I really love it, and I love how my apartment smelled earlier today. So this is a combination of cinnamon, star anise, and cloves. The ones that you normally use for a tea or for ham, for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So you're gonna make like a tea, actual tea with that. It's a cup of water. And then you're gonna bring that to a boil, and when it's boiling, you're gonna turn it off. Then of course you're gonna use the strainer here when you're gonna add it to the mixture. You're not gonna use the actual cinnamon sticks and the anise, star anise, and the cloves. Next, I have 2 tubs or 2 tubs of vanilla here. I'm gonna put 1 teaspoon of cinnamon to mix, and then this is 2 teaspoons of butter. That should be melted, but it's hard already. I have to put it in the microwave real quick. So those are the ingredients for the bread pudding. Now, let's come here. The caramel. It does have caramel. So I'm going to use 1 cup of brown sugar, dark brown sugar. It can be white sugar if that's what you have. This time, I am going to use this dark brown sugar, and just 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons of water. That's for the caramel that I'm going to be doing first. Just turn the stove on, add your sugar and the water. Let it be. No, just turn it down like to medium temperature, and do not use a metal spoon or metal utensil to move it. I'm gonna use my magic spatula here, But I'm not gonna touch it or do nothing to it until I see that it's gonna start melting. Leaving that here. And let's go back to the ingredients. Start making the mix. And here in the mixture, we're gonna start with the milks first. So I'm gonna add 1.5 cans of evaporated milk. You can use fresh milk if you want. And you can also use almond milk, cashew milk, or coconut milk if you want also. This is 1 can of condensed milk, just like that. Simple, very easy. Just add everything to a bowl. That's big enough for all your ingredients, of course. Then you're gonna add the vanilla. See the melted butter, I have it melted now. This next ingredient, it's going to be the infusion. How am I gonna do this? Let me see. So I'm gonna use this strainer. Okay, I can do it, I can do it. Let's mix this a little bit first. The reason why you need the butter melted, it's because it's easier for it to incorporate in the milk. If you have it hard, it's not gonna have the same effect. So let's do this. I don't want, see, that's what I didn't want it to happen. Okay, so you'll see. Let's see. Let me use the help of my friend here. Okay, there. No, didn't work. I'm sorry, guys. I need an assistant. Position is open. Currently hiring now. So you're gonna take the infusion of the cinnamon, cloves, and anise, star anise, and you're gonna strain it because you're not gonna use. Well, yeah, I really didn't need that. That's it, right? Now, we're gonna move this a little bit here before mixing it. And I will be right back. I'm checking my sugar for the caramel, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm still here. Caramel is almost ready. So, I'm gonna make sure to beat the eggs before I put them in the mixture of the bread pudding. Great. Now, we're gonna move these closer. Yep. And then we're gonna be using the whisk while we put the eggs on our mixed. So now that we have that, we're gonna work with the bread now. Let me put this right here, real quick. So now that all the liquids are mixed in this big bowl, I'm gonna start working with my bread. Remember, clean hands always, very important, very, very important. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just cut the bread slices in pieces like this and put it in the milk or the mixture that we have. I'm using 10 slices of bread. If you have the bread that comes with the ends or the brown rim that comes in the on the sides or on the ends, just use it with that. I'm just using this bread that I had at home and it doesn't have it, so it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's not gonna change anything. So you do that with all 10 slices of bread. Now this is the last slice of bread. I just want you to see how I do it before I show you how it looks like. So that's it. Thank you, dear squirrel, for helping me. Dear friend. That's my helper. My squirrel. So now this is how it's gonna look like with the bread. And what you're gonna use your whisk. And you're gonna make sure that all your bread is completely covered with the mix. And you're gonna keep doing this and this and this until you break apart or break your bread a little bit. It doesn't have to be completely liquidish or liquid, because that's not my goal and that's not what I'm going for. But if you don't want to have pieces of bread on your bread pudding, you can always add this mixture, exactly how it is right now and how it looks, to a blender, and then mix it in the blender until you get the consistency that you want. I'm gonna keep doing this and I'll see you in a minute. I worked my arm like for 5 minutes here while trying to break the bread a little bit, and this is how I want my mix to be. See, you can still see pieces of bread, but not as big as they were. So this is ready, and what I'm gonna do right now, I'm going to add my raisins, which I drained already. I took all the liquor, the alcohol, the rum out, and this is three small boxes of raisins rehydrated with rum. You can use Baileys, you can use brandy, you can use water. It's up to you. I used rum. And you're gonna add that to your mixture. Just mix that. If you want more raisins, you can add more. Of course, if you don't like raisins, you don't have to add the raisins. Cooking, baking, having fun, and making magic in the kitchen. It's very personalized. You play with your food and you try different things until you find what you love. So, my mix is ready. See, this is how it looks like. And thank you, squirrel, again, for your help as always. Here's my model for my pictures. He's my tripod. Is it he or she? I don't know. My squirrel is my helper. Okay, enough of that. So now I'm going to check my caramel and I'll be right back for the last steps. Now look at this. This is how your caramel should look like. And I'm using this rectangular mold this time to make this bread, because when I make bread, I like this shape. It looks kind of like better for your presentation and when you're gonna serve it on a plate for your people. See how the caramel looks? It's that golden brown and it's malleable, and you should cover the entire bottom of your mold. Be very, very, very careful with caramel because it burns like an I don't need or want you to be going to the ER right now, because sugar melted, which is the caramel, it's dangerous. So be very careful with it, especially if you have little ones at home. Be very careful with it. So what I'm gonna do now is, this is the mix again, and I'm gonna use this to put it in my mold. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. This side is easier. I'm gonna add everything here. It's easier that way than just like flipping the big mold or bowl of mix into it. Here it is. Everything that was in the big bowl now is in the mold. or molde for my bread pudding. So you can tell I have like 2 centimeters or centimeters left on the mold that I'm gonna be making it. It's okay because you know what? This is not gonna grow or raise because it doesn't have flour other than the flour that we use to make the bread, but the bread is made already, so it's not gonna grow anymore anyway. And you can your mix can be up all the way to the rim of your mold. And let me tell you a secret. This is the first time, I'm being serious, this is the first time that I'm making this type of dessert or bread pudding. So you're gonna be here witnesses of how it comes out. Now you see that I have 2 trays here. I have a shallow tray and I have my bowl. So this is what you call double boiler or baño de Maria. That's how I call it back home. And this is what's gonna help cook your bread pudding or your flans or your cheesecakes. So the trick with that is that you need to use hot water to put in your big tray, because if you use cold water when you put it, remember that I just made the caramel. If you use cold water, the caramel is gonna break. So when you present your bread pudding or your flan or your cheesecake, the caramel is gonna look cracked and we don't want that. So we're gonna put the water here. 1 inch of water that covers the bottom of the tray, it's gonna be enough. Now, yes, this is the first time that I am making this type of dessert, but it's not the first time that I'm making a dessert, because you guys know that I make flan all the time. So that's why I'm using this tray that's kind of shallow. But don't worry, if you're a newbie on this sport, you can use a tray like this to put your mold here in the middle, so it's easier for you to manage. So I'm using this one because I'm like medium level, not expert yet, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna be an expert, but I'm medium level, not amateur on this department. So if you're an amateur and you have never done this before, you can use a mold or a tray like this to make your double boiler or your baño de Maria. So now I'm ready to put in the oven, which I had preheated already to 350 degrees, and it's gonna be there for 1 hour and 20 minutes. In 1 hour and 20 minutes, I'm gonna get one half of a chopstick or a butter knife, and I'm gonna put it in the center of my bread pudding. And if I take it out and my chopstick or my butter knife is clean, that means that my bread is ready. Same thing with your flan, your custard, or your cheesecake. So that's it for today. Stay tuned because I'm going to show you how it comes out. Remember, this is my first time making these, but I'm so excited and happy to share this with you that I couldn't wait and resist it. Thank you for watching me. Be safe and much, much, much love to you. Bye.